Hello and welcome back to Dial H for Heroclix. I'm your sexy ranch hand co-host, Kalder and Simeon. This is episode 275. Howdy, howdy, let's get rowdy.
My stuff.
Dial H for Heroclix is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock every day, including all of the latest Heroclix singles and sealed products. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com. Joining me in the studio again this week, he just won't leave, is my co-host, Simeon Bruce.
You'll never take me alive, Calder.
Oh, I wouldn't want to if I tried. And joining us is the third team member of StarClix Crusaders, none other than happy little Heroclix himself, Devin.
Someone send help. They kidnapped me Friday night, and I haven't left their team yet. I didn't make it home after Worlds.
Hey,
Get the collar back on him.
I'm kidding. What's up, guys? How's it going?
It's going great. Thank you so much.
I'll read the cards in front of my face now. I won't go off script.
Good.
Yeah, you're right.
Make
You
sure
will.
don't go off script. Please.
I'll burn another
make sure you
conic
call his
exclusive
wife
in front
again
of you.
and make sure she's still alive.
Yep. Funny bits we have on this show.
Isn't
Yeah,
that right,
what's up?
Devin? Isn't this real fun we're having?
This is
All right,
great.
so let's talk about Worlds, guys. So Worlds happened this weekend. It was in Memphis, Tennessee. It was in Graceland, the home of Elvis Presley. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
You guys stayed in Graceland. I did not. I stayed in an Airbnb. How was the hotel for Graceland? I was curious about that.
Simeon, go ahead.
I thought it was pretty nice. Room was comfortable. Nice amenities and stuff. The staff was sometimes kind of didn't care that you were there. They had enough of you already, kind of attitude. But it was really cool that there's a ton of other players in the lobby and in the halls and stuff all the time. So you'd bump into people that were also at the convention. That was cool.
Yeah. I have pretty much the same thoughts. The rooms were nice. Hotel overall was pretty good. So diner was so-so. It's kind of expensive for lackluster food, and I didn't really have that Elvis Presley touch I was expecting until I found out Friday night that they, at night, just open up a peanut butter and jelly bar. You just make your own sandwiches, like peanut butter banana or whatever, just open for any guest. So that was kind of neat. And then again, just seeing all the Heroclix players in a hotel that's 5 minutes away from the venue is pretty cool.
It's like a terrible season of Big Brother or something going on. So I'll take it.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome. I like the idea of the peanut butter banana sandwich, peanut butter and jelly bar they have, though. That's
Yeah.
That's a good touch. That's really nice.
Yeah, because there was first day we ate at their grill or whatever in there, and there was no peanut butter anything iconic like that. So I was curious if they had any at all. Yeah, I was like, how do you have a restaurant in here without Fat Elvis era?
It was called the EP Cafe or something like that, or EP Grill, which stands for Elvis Presley Grill.
What?
And yeah, there was nothing in there that was Elvis's favorite burger, the Elvis milkshake, I don't know, something from his song lyrics or something. There was no
it
was all pretty generic
burger or something, something like that.
Yeah, it was all pretty generic, actually, so they could use a rework of that, maybe, but it was okay. It got the job done when you're hungry and you don't want to travel anywhere.
All right, right on. Well, we're going to go ahead and categorize this into days. We can go ahead and start off the first day, which was Team Worlds on Friday. It is sealed. It is using the new X-Men animated series Dark Phoenix Saga set. SSSSSXXXXS. So much freaking words in that one. It's so great. Anyways, we went ahead, we plopped down in our seats, and we opened 6 boosters. And gentlemen, we sure did open those boosters, I tell you what.
We opened them so hard.
Why don't we start with Simeon?
We didn't do anything else successful after opening those.
That's pretty much it. Tell us what team we scrounged together for you, Simeon.
For me, I decided to go with, we did pull several super rares. They just weren't the super rares that were really great in sealed. So I got Mr. Sinister. He's not bad, but you have to be very aggressive with him. Otherwise, he's just not mobile. He's just like a hard piece to field without the right team around him. So Mr. Sinister, Onslaught, the regular one, at 125 points because I couldn't play him at any other point value in sealed, which not a bad figure as well, but again, very squishy. You have to be very careful with him. He's got a lot going on, but after you hit him past invulnerability, he's got no reducers, so you can get poisoned to death. And then I had Scanner and a 33-point Sentinel, so it was a team that could indeed do things.
Very nice. I'll go ahead and jump into my team, since it's actually a team, no offense, Devin. I tried to build a Brotherhood of Mutants themed team. I like the Brotherhood. I like what they do a lot. I wish we would have had some better Brotherhood keyword. I went with Blob and Pyro, the common Magneto that is not the double base, and then who was the last person on that team? I'm
Sauron?
Sauron?
Yeah, it was Sauron. That's right. Yeah, Laser Eyes. Now he pulled his weight, and that was actually I thought an okay team. It was 30 points underbuilt, which is the only like rough part about it. So that's the only thing I would have changed. Is maybe if we would have got one more little Brotherhood, that'd have been it. Devin, go ahead.
I had a very complicated team of Nimrod, and that was the team. No, that was it.
Oh, really?
Oh, sorry, Devin.
Yeah.
Devin, you cut out. All I heard was Nimrod. You didn't say anything after that.
Oh, okay. I also had some maps on the team.
Oh, okay.
Maps are important.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
All right.
a big part of a build.
So they know our teams. They can decide for themselves at home, the listener, whether or not they were stellar. Spoiler alert. Maybe less than
Spoilers.
so. But yeah, let's go ahead and dive into just one match, kind of a standout match for your team, or that was fun, or whatever for the day that you had. And we'll go in the same order if that sounds good. So Simeon can start.
My favorite match was against a previous Team Sealed teammate. At Team Nationals, I joined forces with two guys that I didn't know before then, and we got top 16. Two people I didn't know helped me get top 16 at Nats. No pressure, guys. But
I don't know
I ended up playing
what he's
against
talking
that
about,
team.
because I got top, I think, 8 at Nats, if I remember correctly. Never mind, but
Oh, that's true.
and I think we actually beat a certain team at Nationals in order to get to top 8.
But-
Actually,
But
How
did you beat a certain person?
I may not have beat a certain person on that certain team, but overall, we did beat that team.
Big shout out to Sean and Charles. My previous teammates, I turned rogue and I was the traitor, so they were excited to play against us to see if they could beat down the traitor, and they did. Sean definitely beat me. He played very smartly. He had a Bastion. He had a Sebastian Shaw. He had a Bolivar Trask. He had a Sentinel at 33 points. I think he might have had one more thing. The Bastion was the 2x2 Bastion. And then, or no, he had both Bastions. He had the single base Bastion and the 2x2 Bastion. And then, yeah. So, did I say Sebastian Shaw? He did not have a Sebastian Shaw. It was the Bastion, 2x2, and single base. Bolivar Trask, 33-point Sentinel. I didn't realize that I didn't realize that both the 2x2 and the single base could roll leadership and bring in more Sentinels. So at one point I killed a Sentinel, and then the next turn he brought in another Sentinel that had a better power set because he rolled for it. And I played a little aggressively and did not work out in my favor. But I just enjoyed running into those guys. That was my favorite part about it, yeah.
Okay, right on. My standout game of the day happened right after, so I could barely scrounge It was like 85 points after 3 games. I was losing games left and right. And then I finally won a game, but that wasn't my standout game. Standout game was the game I played after that. And the guy sat down across from me. It was our very last match of the day, and he's like, I went undefeated all day. So it's like, and I'm like, okay, we'll see about that, huh? And I cannot tell you, I've never really wanted to like, oh, I really just want to beat this person at Heroclix. But as soon as he said, yeah, I went undefeated all day, and he kind of said it a little too sure of himself, I'm like, I'm gonna beat this guy. Spoiler alert, I did not beat that guy, so kind of ruins the whole story in my opinion. But
there's another undefeated guy that you didn't beat. I think it was at Nationals. Oh, did I bring that up again? I'm sorry. Short-term memory or something.
Well, whoever that guy is, he sounds terrible and should quit talking right now. That's what I've
heard. He's an awful person.
He's a terrible human being. But no, and I was so cocksure because I had just beat a Juggernaut like before that match. The first game I ever won was a Juggernaut. I'm like, okay, so you're saying
it can be done.
It can be done. And I don't want to blame it on rolls because I had pretty good rolls all day, and blaming it on rolls is super lame, but it does happen. And man, I one shot as Jason Wingard, whatever, all these other figures, but I could not get Juggernaut down, and it came down to Sauron, and when he can't poison and take that token off, it's just like that's all she wrote from there. But I never felt like the want to like beat that guy, like just because I'm like, yeah, I can beat Juggernaut, yeah, let's do it. But no, it was a rough match, and there were so many good opponents we had that day. I really liked them all. So go ahead, Dev.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, mine was round 3 against Simeon's old teammates, actually. Maybe I left a bad impression, but my opponent was named Charles, and his team was Vange Whedon at 175 points. That is the Red Dragon. I think the green's the Magic Puff Dragon or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
It was Red Dragon, 175. 125 point normal onslaught, and that was the team. He chose at the start of the game to move Vange Whedon to her 25th Clix, which has a special defense power that says she is a standard size character instead of colossal, and when she or an adjacent friendly character would take damage, they don't take that damage and instead turn Vange Whedon to her starting Clix that game. It's protected Outwit and Pulse Wave. So the goal of that power, of course, is she prevents damage from her to herself or a friendly character for 1 attack, right? It's like the old protected feat. Then once that damage gets prevented, you go to the actual starting line. So if you look at the dial on the HC Realms thread or wherever you find it, the 175 point starting line is like an 11 attack 4 damage. So ideally, you want to prevent that damage and then have a figure to attack with. Well, unfortunately, this defense power is worded in a way that it works just like Lockjaw on Clix 6, where if you incapacitate them for pushing damage, meaning they have an action token already, and you give them a second, that damage is unavoidable and can't, be avoided. So turn 1, he moves up halfway up the map. He carries Vange Whedon with him. Turn 2, I base him halfway up the map because I have one character who can go like 10 or 12 squares. His second turn, he outwits. He moves Vange Whedon to outwit me, gets rid of my defense, critically hits my Nimrod down for 4 damage. So pretty rough. That's a pretty good attack, and I'm like, okay, that's pretty good. But one cool part about Nimrod is at the start of each turn, you pick an attack power to use, and he gets that until your next turn. So little did he know I would choose Incap and roll to Incap and score 175 points off of a single incapacitate roll, and it was pretty much done after that. That's probably the most points I've scored with a single attack ever. And that's my highlight. So, sorry, Charles. I apologize profusely after doing that move, but that's just how it goes in Team World sometimes. So
that's why I say to a lot of my whoever I play against, and like something like really bad happens, like their side, or like it really swings my direction one way, I get a crit hit or whatever. I'm like, yeah, I hear that's the way it be sometimes. It really do be like that. So awesome. Teams was great. Sorry, Simeon, you were saying something.
I was gonna say we noticed that power in our very first round. There was about 5 judges that had to like review the wording back and forth.
It was so funny.
it's hilarious because they designed this power specifically to protect her and anyone adjacent to her.
Right.
And they gave her Earthbound to signify that she's not a flying dragon.
Yep.
But I don't think they accounted for the fact that would take away her Indom, her willpower, and leave her open to being one shot like that.
Yeah, it definitely was not designed with that in mind, in my opinion. Just because losing, if you did that at 275 points, can you imagine losing that many points to a single in cap? That'd be ridiculous. Even worse, day 3, I forget who, but I heard over in a battle royale, someone played Van Dweden, did the trick, making her small, and critically missed with her with an attack because she does have 1 damage on that Click 25s, but just proceeded to die from a critical miss.
But no one scored those points though, right?
Yeah, in the battle royale, I suppose they don't, but
exactly,
it's still pretty rough. You can lose a character
terrible.
That way.
That really sucks. The overall winner of Team Worlds was a Phoenix Nest team. It had Matty G, Adam Friedman, and George Masu on it. I want to say congratulations, guys. Good job on go ahead and playing real well in that random sealed environment with some great polls and some equally as great players, I'm sure. I honestly don't know what their teams were, but we can go ahead right in. After teams, since we did not quite get qualified for Worlds, I tried to do a last chance qualifier, but you guys went ahead and sat in on the fan appreciation event. So you want to tell me a few things that really stood out to you from that event, guys? Or we could just go down the list as well and just be like, this is what they showed and previewed, and this is what we're excited about.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, so
it was actually just like a super large amount of stuff, and it was all really cool to see. Somebody missed completely out on all the Captain America pictures, so
that was so rough.
I wonder who that was. Also, when I was walking back to sit down and watch it, they just randomly walked by and gave me an Adam Strange Con LE, so that was nice.
That's awesome. All right, so first up, was it shown that it was Andre the Giant and also a few other wrestling figures like Finn Balor, The Undertaker, and Ronda Rousey. Is that right, guys?
Yeah, so they gave us some dials and the cards, too, for a lot of the WWE figures, and I'm not an expert on wrestling figures, but the stats and point values seem pretty good so far. Simeon can, of course, talk to characters himself, so I'll let him take that on.
Really, I was a little bit disappointed, I can't lie, that Andre the Giant, I knew when Kane got that big guy trait that they were going to give it to Andre instead of giant size. And it's not terrible that he doesn't have giant size, because that means you could equip him with something and stuff like that. But really, I mean, if you're playing these guys as WWE figures, you're not going to be equipping them. Maybe with the Venom harness to simulate their steroid abuse or something, I guess.
Goodness,
it's not wrong, Kalder.
Okay, no,
it's very dark. No, as always with the WWE guys, my favorite part is their flavor text, and so I'll just go over the Undertaker's. I'm not going to go over his dial. It's 100 points, 70 points. He's the only one that we've seen with the stop click, so that's a cool thing too. So he's got the Undertaker Rises. That's his stop click. He can't be healed above it. And then he proceeds to have 3 clicks of regen after that, after the power that he can't be healed above. So he starts off with Sidestep. You can't hide from the dead man. I was really hoping they'd give him phasing, because he always would the lights would go out and then they'd come back up and he would just be there. He just, magicked himself there. His other speed power is Slingshot, and it's his old school move. The Undertaker's doing the old school. He's up on the top row. Okay, yep. Throughout almost his entire dial, he has Hell's Gate, which is his submission hold. He'd always pull that out in the most random matches. Just out of nowhere, they'd go to pin him, and instead of pinning him, he'd just pin their neck on his knee and choke him out. He has 2 clicks of Slam, which is the last ride. That was his finisher that he stuck with for quite a while. His signature move that's traded is, of course, the Tombstone Pile Driver. And he's also traded Big Guy, which we kind of assumed he would be. Then he's got Invuln, which is the Phenom. He's got Toughness, which is Brother of Destruction. His regen click is Mystical Revivals. He's got some clicks of Outwit, which is Power of Darkness. And then he's got 4 random clicks of Prob in the middle of his lower dial, and that is Rest in Peace, which was, not overly cliched thing that he said all the time. So,
no. Undertaker
Kalder, did you want to talk about your favorite WWE figure that popped up, though? I hear Ronda Rousey, she's got Piper's Pit. No. She's got toying with her opponent. No. That seemed like a cool power.
No, I'm good.
She can use Perplex twice. Do you want to talk about that?
No, I don't. No, I'm good. I don't want to talk about her. I'm fine.
She likes to do a thing called an armbar and a guillotine choke. Do you want to talk about that, Kalder?
No, it's okay. I could move on from this actually portion of the fan appreciations. We can just move on if that's all we want to talk about, because it's nothing we're talking about. It's no person we're talking about. Anyways, so X-Men Unpainted. How about that? The unpainted X-Men sculpts. I really like the idea that they are getting a bit more community involvement with it, because I'm going to make an assumption. Tell me if I step out of my area here. Heroclix players are relatively lazy by nature, as they don't want to paint figures. That's kind of the appeal of Heroclix, is that they're pre-painted. But if you do paint them, you can send them to WizKids, and you can get featured in their weekly newsletter, which I don't know how many of you guys get it, but I am, of course, subscribed to their weekly newsletter. I get emails from them all the time saying how much they love me and how awesome I am. No, their emails are more or less just articles they post on their website and stuff, but it'd be really cool because they already do the D&D miniatures that are shown up in their newsletter, so it's really cool to do that for folks, which I really appreciate. The Wolverine's really cool. We don't have to really go into the dial, but we finally have a Wolverine with Charge, Flurry. Even though he's 100 points, I think he's still a great call-in. That's all I'm going to say about him. I'm going to move on. We also got a sneak peek of the Psylocke. Really cheap Psylocke. I think she's really good. I think she's really fun. I'm most excited for how many different... I guess Cannonball exists as well, but whatever. I'm really excited to see all the different costumes people paint these guys in. I think X-Men for sure. I guess Storm too. I'm really... Okay, Cyclops. All right, how many more? Okay, that's it. Cool. Yeah, I haven't really flipped through these that well. I also wasn't there that night. Maybe it shows a little. But yeah. No, I'm super excited.
All right, Calder, since you haven't super looked at these before, look at how many keywords Cyclops has.
Yep. He's got a whole 3. X-Men, X-Factor.
How many keywords Wolverine has.
Whatever. I would say that's a whole lot more. Jeez, look at that. Weapon X,
so they started off that preview saying, well, we don't know what costume you're going to paint these guys, so we're just going to we gave them all sorts of keywords. And at first we're like, yeah, Wolverine, 10. That makes sense. He'd be on any team now. Then we get down to Cyclops, and they're like, what?
Well, okay. I mean, it kind of makes sense. Cyclops, I mean, he's been the leader of a few teams, but he doesn't get around as much as Wolverine, if you know what I mean.
Mostly just X-Men. Like, Cannonball's keywords are great. Like, he's got basically every single team he's ever been on right there. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't think Cyclops has ever been, an Avenger or anything, so
yeah,
makes sense.
He's never... Poor Cyclops, rest in peace. I don't think he's ever even joined the X-Force, right? Just X-Factor and X-Men's all Cyclops.
Yeah.
So
just
maybe that's all he gets. Utopia. All right, that's enough about that. Yeah, X-Men are really cool and all. We've had to deal with X-Men.
Just skip the next
No, we
set
can't.
of previews,
No, we can't, because I'm pretty much going to talk about every single figure on here and tell you how excited I am.
You want to do that? What's next?
Next up is Captain America and the Avengers Heroclix set. Gonna reach store shelves in February of 2020. We get the first peek of a new U.S. agent. It's a very kind of shield catchy sculpt. I really like it. It's a lot better than the other shield catchy sculpt of Captain America, where the shield looks like it's shooting a laser. I really like this sculpt. It looks very cool. It's very dynamic. We get a look at Elijah Bradley. I believe it. Yeah, Elijah or Isaiah, whichever one of those is. I always forget. One's his grandson and one is actually him. I believe he's Elijah. And We get that sculpt again. We've seen it before. We get a really cool sculpt look, and she has a really cool base of this Peggy Carter as Captain America, Captain Britain, like kind of. I mean, she's British, right? So it's kind of this. I believe it was Future Fight first made a Peggy Cap character in their game, and then she got a spin-off comic. She was in a few different like issue or like cover art and stuff like that, and then people like her obviously because Peggy Carter's amazing. Haley Atwell's hilarious, and people just can't get enough Peggy, so that was great. We get to see Quake again. I could do without Inhumans. I know Chris is somewhere and he's like, I love my Inhumans. Well, I don't care. We got a really cool Red Skull who looks like he might.
It's like a tingling on the back of his neck, like Calder isn't giving the Inhumans the love they deserve.
He's dissing the Inhumans or like the Eternals or something. No, and then we get this really cool kind of bland. I'm not gonna lie, like Red Skull who looks like he's just like holding something. Like he could be holding something.
I feel like this will be maybe like a Prime because this one looks like it would be the main set, like the non-Prime.
Oh yeah,
and he's just got like leadership and does something with Hydra, and then the Prime's like Red Skull with a cube again.
Yeah.
Whoa, we never get Red Skulls with cosmic cubes. It's actually, besides the Avengers set, just recently, it actually has been a really long time. Like, it's like 2012 with that Avengers sort of cube set. We get a new Ghost. I don't care about Ghost. We get a Wasp. Don't care about Wasp. We get a Black Panther. I normally don't care about Black Panther at all, but he's got like these cool, like, laser knives, which I really dig.
Oh, yeah.
Which means they're going to do something,
Calder,
hopefully.
Those are vibranium daggers.
Come on, they look at them. They're all whatever.
There's no such thing as laser knives. Those are vibranium daggers.
Excuse me.
Do you know what the chief product of Wakanda is, Calder? It's not laser knives.
Is it rhinos or something?
I don't know. I didn't
Is it
study
mineral
geology.
tech or whatever they communicate? Well, obviously that's also vibranium. Anyways, we get a really sick blade. It has been so long. It was Avengers, right? Or Amazing Spider-Man, right? Since we got a blade, like
man.
And
then they used the same sculpt on like a monthly LE, but yeah, it's been a while.
Oh yeah, for sure. But like, this is a really cool like armored blade that I'd never seen before, and that looks awesome. We also get a Black Widow that's totally not Quake or whatever, whoever that chick is. More importantly, though, and I'm really worried about how nice this base looks, because I really don't want this to be the chase theme of, like, villains or whatever, but we get a really sweet look at Ultron. He's, like, blue Ultron. He's got some, fire stuff coming out of his hands, kind of energy, and then he's got a pile of Ultron, like, head, body, and then a gold Ultron head, and then a bunch of, like, wires and other Ultron stuff on his base. It's a very nice-looking base. I just really hope it's not a chase, you know? The important part about this is one of my all-time favorite, and one of Chris' all-time favorite, everybody's all-time favorite. It should be all of yours all-time favorite. Additional game elements. It's really not an additional game element. It's just super thematic. Is that Clix FX are making their return, and we have the Nightcrawler teleporty-like effect, but it's blue this time on Ultron's base. And ooh, I'm excited for Clix FX being back.
Yeah, it's like blue with Jack Kirby dots on it.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah, it makes me wonder what he's doing, because his hands are definitely like charging up, possibly like shooting something. So a lot of the Clix effects were like if you hit, you stick this token, and then maybe they take one penetrating or lower their defenses, stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see what he does, because from the effects that I can see on his little thing, I can't imagine what it possibly does.
I can't really figure it out either. Next up is Songbird. We saw her in Civil War. I really don't know who she is. Don't really care who she is. We had a really great Absorbing Man, who we haven't gotten since 2013 in the Invincible Iron Man set. And this is an amazing sculpt. It's kind of like a mix of his normal single-base sculpt with his duo with Titania. He's got a piece of rubble. He's absorbing some bricks with his arm. He's absorbing, like, the rock with his leg. And he's swinging his big old ball and chain. He looks great. Great Super Rare style sculpt. We get a Citizen V, who we haven't got since the first ever carded Heroclix set, or maybe it was like the second.
Oh yeah,
since Avengers, man.
I remember that sculpt now.
You see, yeah, like it's been so long, and I'm so excited that he's making his return. That is great. We get a suited Mandarin. I don't remember the last time we got a suited Mandarin where he wasn't all robed up. Like that had to been pre-13 Iron Man, right? So we're getting a new Mandarin. Hopefully, since he's coming out after all these rings have been released, that he hopefully will do something with the rings. Maybe shouldn't hold out too long, but I hope. And then
if he has a trait like the Collector, where he can just be equipped with as many as he wants, that'd be good enough.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But he should totally be able to just like pay an extra whatever points to start with however many he wants.
Yeah,
that would be really cool.
The point you pay all the costs for the rings, but you start with as many. That'd be neat.
That would be awesome. That would be maybe even kind of broken in some way. We get a Baron Zemo, pretty cool. He's doing like a rock-on like power fist. Let's do it. We get a Nuke, kind of standard looking Nuke. He's actually wearing a vest. Hopefully, so there's two ways they can do this. Recently in Captain America comics, Nuke soldiers were like generics, since Nuke actually like nuked and died in 2016 or something like that during one of the Captain America runs. So now like generic Nuke soldiers are like on the run everywhere, and Captain America has been beating them up in the past couple of comics. So I wouldn't mind a Nuke soldier generic. I think that'd be really cool. I got no idea who this next guy is. He's just like a Minotaur.
I actually thought it was a D&D character that they accidentally like threw into the presentation.
That's what it looks like, right?
Yeah. Is this a Minotaur? I'm like, why? What does this have to do with... Some fan right now is like, they don't know Minotaur, the iconic Captain America villain?
Yeah, they're going to call it Captain...
Minotaur?
Cole doesn't even like Captain America if he doesn't know who Minotaur is.
Yeah, Minotaur, you know, from the films he's been in.
Yep.
Minotaur.
I feel like it was like alternate universe Captain America, where the Earth had been like, like Terrigenesis twice, and this guy is actually Captain America's like steed he rides into battle on.
Jeez.
He just like piggybacks into battle,
I guess. Because, yeah, I feel the same. I have no idea where this guy's from.
Well,
I'm one of those fake boys.
On that note, I'm still excited for Captain America. I'm still really excited for the set. Even though we didn't get to see a Steve Rogers in these previews, it's okay. He only burnt me a little. Hurt me just a little bit inside not seeing a Steve Rogers. That's okay, WizKids. Don't worry about it. Worry about it a little. We can go ahead and move on to Justice League Unlimited, I guess.
Hey, Kalder, who's the first character they're previewing? The
first character, I believe, is Huntress. She's really cool. She has some beautiful purple on her sculpt. Moving right along, we get a great look at Black Canary. She's screaming. Looks cool. We get a Captain Atom, who, is very, like, you can totally repaint this sculpt to be a couple different people. I could see them doing that, but Captain Atom looks cool. I really liked him in Justice League Unlimited.
The one thing I really don't like about the Captain Atom sculpt, there's no, like, effect going on him at all. It's a fairly standard pose. I feel like, at best, he's going to be a rare.
Yeah.
Which means he's
same
not
with
the Captain Atom I want.
Black Canary. For people that are scrolling through these previews, they had that Songbird, the Marvel character with like a sound coming out of her sound waves coming out of her mouth, right?
Like banshees and stuff.
But they didn't do that for Black Canary, and it's like the same power. So
Songbird can like
you can kind of tell a little
sound thing, and she can turn sound into like hardened things too. I don't know. She's got a weird power set. But yeah, I haven't seen a Black Canary that didn't have a scream effect in a while.
So probably a common or uncommon, which isn't too bad.
Probably.
It's still
all right. Do you guys know who this Knight dude is? I mean, I like him. I like Knights and stuff. He looks cool, but I'm not aware of his character.
Shining Knight. He's in the show. That's all I know.
I do remember him being in the show.
He teamed up with a cowboy. It was pretty fun.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's like
one of like this like episodes where there's just like a ton of characters like going past, like fighting a ton of different stuff. I remember him being in there, and I think he was riding on something, but I don't remember it all too well. It's been a while.
Okay, sweet.
He does look cool.
At Martian Manhunter here, he's kind of floating.
Oh, it's finally time.
He looks pretty sweet. He's kind of doing like the reach out, like Vision pose kind of thing. I really dig it. I like the way he looks. Good old John Jones. We get a quick glance at what is this, like white tips, like Rogue Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I think it's a generic Wonder Woman sculpt.
I was gonna say I think
white hair.
I think it's either like Wonder Woman. So later on, we also get a Superman Beyond, and so I think it's like Wonder Woman from that same era, or it might be I can't remember the name of them now, but yeah.
All right, right on.
Alternate
Then we
universe
get,
Wonder Woman.
It's like Atomic Skull or something?
No, this is a Batman Beyond villain.
Oh, okay.
He was the main Batman Beyond villain who absorbed radiation. Derek Powers was like the CEO guy who bought Wayne Incorporated from Batman as Batman aged out of it, and then basically like a Green Goblin scenario. Accident goes wrong, he absorbs radiation and becomes this dude who's Blight. Blight is his name.
Okay.
So we got Blight.
Blight. Awesome. I like him. He looks cool.
Yeah.
We get Old Man Static Shock from when they travel into the future and stuff. That is cool. That's what I'm excited about. His one arm looks really weird, but besides that, I love it. I really do that we got Old Man Static. It's so dope.
He's putting his arm around his imaginary friend.
Yeah, Gear, who's dead or whatever. Oh jeez.
Oh boy.
He's fine. I'm sure he totally lives. No, he probably does die. He's got no superpowers. And then this is the some white guy. Next up, we have Batman Beyond and a more
Superman.
dynamic
Superman.
sculpt.
What are you doing?
Superman Beyond. Come on, man.
Okay.
You gotta talk about. Okay.
If you want to.
I think literally 2 episodes ago, we had some questions about. We had some questions. Malcolm asked us some questions about animated stuff, and I said like the one from Batman animated was probably the best and last one that we would get for a long time. And then they previewed this a few days later. So
this one looks much better.
Later.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
The sculpt is so much cooler.
Smoke.
Yeah.
Super rare
with the boot jets.
for sure.
Oh yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah,
but I'm down for that. Like I loved the common one from Batman the Animated Series, but they only put that one in.
Yeah.
I thought they'd reuse that sculpt, but they didn't.
Nope.
So it's good to see another one.
We get a really cool Reverse Flash. Those colors just really pop. I like the design.
Oh yeah.
The Justice League Unlimited characters. They just really look colorful and really bright. I really like that part about them.
I actually think that's just regular Flash, but as the Justice Lord. I think it's Justice Lord Flash.
Showing how much I don't know about
it might. I mean, it is the same kind of color scheme as Reverse Flash.
So it could be, but the story for Justice Lords was that they went bad because the Flash died, so they did not have a Flash.
So
this could be the Flash before he died. Who knows? There was a few times where in the show regular universe, Reverse Flash showed up and fought. Both as himself, and then Amazo had an ability to like transform for a bit into villains as he fought Justice Leaguers, and he turned into Reverse Flash. But yeah, we don't know any details. They just showed pictures, so that's all we can go off of for now.
We get
Speaking
Batman.
of Justice Lords,
this seems to be their reuse Batman sculpt for the set. It seems to be the sculpt reuse for Batman. That's going to be the Batman sculpt for the reuse for Batman.
Yeah,
this is specifically Justice Lord Batman
color.
because of the silver bat on his chest.
Ooh,
and I think the preview we saw of this sculpt before is from an episode where he sings on stage, and in that sculpt he has like a microphone instead of a batarang. So who knows? They could end up using this like 3 times. Normal batarang, normal suit.
Yeah.
Justice Lord suit, and then normal suit, but a microphone. So who knows yet? I wonder what the microphone powers and abilities will be, though. That'll be funny.
Should be like incapacitate, ignores all sorts of
stuff. Every single terrain type.
Yeah, every terrain ever. Like you can hear Batman whether you want it, or you want
like
to or not.
Basically a pulse wave in cap.
Yeah,
that'd be funny.
That'd be awesome. Be so great. We get another white guy next up, and then we get a Donna Troy, which is really cool. Really.
No, this is Justice Lord Wonder Woman.
Oh, is that really what it is? Oh, jeez.
Yep.
I'm trying my best here, guys.
It's literally like 4 Justice Lords in a row.
Darn.
I could have told you that.
Thought. Okay.
But
thanks for the heads up, Simeon.
You're welcome.
Does that not look like Donna Troy, though?
Like, it does, yeah.
Okay.
Because of the hair, the suit. Yeah,
and
I got you.
It still could be, like, you could literally just repaint it, and it would be Donna Troy.
Yep.
So.
Next up, finally, finally, now we get a really sweet sculpt. Now this guy's really cool. We get Lex Luthor with his classic like purple and green, and he's given a lot of attitude in his sculpt. I like it. Like he's like.
I thought this was the Flash.
Yeah, actually, this is the Flash Calder. This isn't Lex Luthor. You're wrong.
Right.
Well, there's
the Flash.
for those who have never watched the show, there's an iconic moment from the series where, due to a magic accident, the Flash and Lex Luthor swap bodies. So you have Lex Luthor, the Flash, walking around the Legion of Doom headquarters pretending to be evil. You have the Lex Luthor in Flash's body trying to figure out the secret identities of all the main Justice Leaguers without getting caught. It's pretty funny.
It's probably one of the only episodes I've actually seen.
Yeah.
Lex Luthor / Flash not washing his hands, and then Lex Luthor / in Flash's body, like, I'm gonna know his secret identity, and he's like, oh, I don't know who this guy is, like looking in the mirror, like, who the heck is this dude? That's great. But yeah, I guess that could be the Flash. That'd be a really simple way to do, hopefully not a Prime, but like an AB version.
Oh, definitely. It would be so funny. Yet good. I'd love it.
Great.
Yeah.
I'd be down. I wouldn't mind at all.
Up. I don't know this one.
Amazo.
Witty quip, of course. That doesn't look like a Mazo, isn't he? Normally like.
This is
something else.
Before he turned gold.
Okay.
Like his first appearance was like a silver, and then he went to space for some reason that I forgot about, and he came back gold. So this could be like another AB, where like the rare version's a gold one. He's basically the Unimind of the show. He could be super strong if they build him to be.
That.
Hey, DC Unimind?
Oh, yikes. Yikes.
Right.
I mean, they deserve something.
So it would cost twice as many points, is what you're saying.
Basically.
Yeah.
Jeez, basically. I really like this Gorilla Grodd. It's Gorilla Grodd, right? Please don't tell me I'm wrong.
This is, God, there's multiple ape villains. Yeah.
Dang it.
Yeah, Gorilla Grodd's a black fur. This is one of the white apes that he fights against.
He's got brain powers. Gorilla Grodd's a smart monkey. He's got a gun. Gorilla Grodd uses a gun sometimes. I don't know. The guy looks cool. It's a dope sculpt. Probably rare, super rare.
I don't think Grodd's brain ever became like super gross and like veiny like that though. Like I don't know. Yeah. At least not in the show. But yeah, I mean, we will probably
Humanite is his name. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Ultra
totally
Humanite.
That, probably.
Man, this is a one-off villain if I ever saw one. I totally forgot what he did, but yeah, this is not Grodd.
He shoots gun.
Yeah.
I think he takes over like Monkey City or whatever Grodd calls it. He like takes over like Grodd's like little like secluded
that's the episode,
city.
Yeah.
And then Grodd's like, I think he needs like the Flash's help or something, and for some reason they help Grodd's.
Interesting.
But yeah,
next up
definitely
we get
just give him a different head and it's Grodd.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah, that'd be easy. Oh, baby. We get the Hot Topic Dark Side, where he wears a lot more black in this version of him. I really dig it. He's very very dark, very toned down, very edgy. I like it a lot. This
is like the season finale costume he had on. So that's pretty cool. We haven't had a dark side in a while, I don't think. We've had a bunch of apocalypse people.
It's really weirding me out how it looks like he just doesn't have pants. He has like a tiny skirt and then really tall boots.
That's what he wears. He wears a little skirt. He's like Magic, who wears just like no pants, but
like,
really long boots.
His boots go up to like mid-thigh.
Yeah, just like Magic's boots do.
Okay.
Think about that. You know? Yeah,
I don't want to.
Darkseid's a mid-thigh guy, I guess. Jeez. Next up we get she looks sad on the swing, right?
Ace.
Ace. She's got a club. Ace clubs. Good old Ace of clubs.
Yeah. From the Royal Flush Gang.
Yep.
So is this one from Batman Beyond?
Yes and no. Royal Flush Gang originated in Batman Beyond, but this is like the initial version. So the backstory to this, for spoilers, you can skip like 30 seconds, whatever. Amanda Waller in the show starts gathering together people to fight the Justice League because America starts thinking the Justice League is too strong. They concoct experiments on this young psychic girl, and they mess that up, and she starts going nuclear. Then they have to send people in to go take her down because she's going to like explode a city or something just from her psychic abilities to warp reality, if I remember right. But it's cool to see her. definitely a unique character. I don't think she's shown up in anything else, so I think this is a show-only character.
And if you've skipped ahead, that was exactly 30 seconds. You've officially dodged Devin's spoilers about Ace here. Congratulations. Yeah. Good job, listener.
You did
that ends Justice League Unlimited. I actually am a lot more excited for this set. Now, still can't beat the hype for Captain America, but what do you guys think about this set?
As a DC fan, I am stoked to have more DC.
Yeah, there's so many figures that have rotated out of Modern, like, with 2 years plus to that or so. Then there's also figures that, like, I don't think we've gotten before, or... Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's at least, like, 5 that we haven't gotten before, at least technically. So, and plus Justice Lords, that was one of my main wants from it, so...
Oh, yeah.
I'm happy.
Nice. And that is going to be releasing in April 2020, Justice League Unlimited. Next up is this Spider-Man Venom Absolute Carnage. Is that the name of this set? You know?
I think that, so far, unless that's the working name.
Okay, it's probably got to be a working title, but I mean, it could just be Spider-Man Venom Absolute Carnage.
Spider-Man Venom Absolute Carnage, or just Spider-Man Absolute Carnage. I don't know, with the extra Venom they added for whatever reason. But anyways, we get never-before-seen characters. We get these art sketch prints that an artist made of characters that are not in the Marvel Universe at all. They're just random characters from properties that we can totally mix with Marvel. That'll be pretty legit. And we get a... You gotta remind me who this is. We get a Venomized Leonardo
da Venom is
Leonardo da
name
Venom, excuse me.
Yeah. Yep. I can't wait.
No idea. I mean, they're literally... They, like, WizKids talk to Marvel, and apparently, like, WizKids talked to Marvel, and they were in talks, and they were talking about how video games that Marvel lets, like, Activision make a Spider-Man game, occasionally they'll come to Marvel with just, like, a new character idea that's a different, it's not a character that Marvel actually has, and Marvel will just be like, yeah, okay, sounds good, go ahead and make it. And WizKids was like, well, how do we do that? And they're just go ahead and do it. And, like, if you like it, we let you do it. And so WizKids is going to have to make an entire backstory, power set, like, everything for these guys. It's going to be pretty crazy. I wonder if he'll have shape change and plasticity.
Yeah.
He may have shape change
automatically break away, you say?
He can automatically break away.
Oh my gosh.
Venomverse, huh?
That'd be a really cool trait if he had that, actually. That'd be awesome.
I think they should make that into a reoccurring trait.
Oh, like everybody who has a symbiote would have it. That would be so cool.
Thank you, Calder. Thank you.
Thank you.
Glad you like my ideas.
Yeah, you have such great ideas. They're so original and funny every time. Every time.
No one laughs at you either, Calder. So I laugh at you.
Next up,
in the
with
mean
me,
way.
You mean? In the
No.
Yeah? No? All right. We get a Penny Parker, but steampunk. Mini rant here. Steampunk is my least favorite form of anything ever. I do not like the art style. I do not like people that cosplay steampunk. That's it. End of mini rant. But we're getting steampunk.
Oh, I feel the same. So
Penny Parker. Okay. Anybody that was offended by that, my address is 205. No. Anyways.
No, I already have your address, so
that's right.
Yeah.
Contact me, Bruce.
Like a bomb or something
over my steampunk opinions. I hate it.
I have zero interest in steampunk Penny Parker, but if this means we get an actual Penny Parker with her robot, like a normal version, more than willing to accept this one too. Just because that's the only character we're missing to finish out the team from the Into the Spider-Verse movie. So hopefully we get a normal Penny Parker and robot to go with the rest of the figures.
So this is just concept art, but looking like at the image, what do you guys think? 2x2 base, or do you think that like if they did go forward and make that into an actual like Heroclix figure, is that going to be able to fit on a single base?
Well, he didn't say anything in the presentation about 2x2, so this could be like the size of the Earth X Hulk, in my opinion.
True.
The robot itself isn't that big. Compared, like even looking at the picture, it's about half the size of a leg. So it should be I would imagine the size of because even like the Earth X Hulk has like the little kid riding on him, right? So it's kind of like the same size. I would think.
Well, to be fair, Earth-X Hulk is also bigger than the new Juggernaut, so and he went on a 2x2 base.
That's true.
Man. Hey, we got our sculpt reuse in there somehow, Simeon. So that is everything for fan appreciation. I was super bummed that I missed pretty much all of it when I came in, but I did win a good copy of Kibble Scuffle. We'll keep that tight wraps on
How did you win that, Calder?
Yeah,
Calder, tell the story
Thank you for asking,
about how you
Simeon.
stood up and screamed how many cats you owned.
All right,
tell
so
that story,
let's
Calder.
let's not throw away the punchline here. Let's slow down there, guys. Come on.
I'm
Content for the show. They were like, we got a new game. It's a WizKids. WizKids also does like normal board games and stuff like that, and they're giving away Kibble Scuffle. It's a cat-related board game, and they asked the audience, who's got one cat? So I just kept my hand raised. And they like 2 cats, 3 cats, 4, 5, and then Scott was like 6, and it was like me and just one other guy had our hand up now, and he was like 8. And it was like, okay, how many cats do you have? He asked the first guy, and he's like, I have 11 cats. He's like, how many cats do you have? 26 cats. I said, and then I won my copy of Kibble Scuffle, like a boss.
You fought so hard for
I fought
Kibble
very
Scuffle.
hard. Like, all of the trivia they asked, I was like, yeah, I got no idea. Like, there's no way I could answer any of these questions. Like, they're too...
So, Dial H listeners, I'd like to introduce you to Having Cats, the world champion in having cats, Calder Ness.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Junior Rodeo Champ 2019 and
Junior.
Most Cats 2019. So many titles you get to wear.
I do wear a lot of titles.
What kibble are you going to design with WizKids?
I'm thinking of what's the
most powerful kibble card in the meta right now?
Like kibble card, maybe like a bacon kibble. Meow
Oh, wow.
Meow Mix kibble card or something like that. Meow 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 mix.
Oh man, as long as you can get the rights for that.
If I get the rights to Meow Mix, baby, it's gonna be OP.
Yeah.
I don't know if Pulse Wave is in this Kibble Scuffle game, but it's about to be. And that was fan appreciation, ladies and gentlemen. That was fan appreciation. Next up, World Singles. Hey, did you guys compete in the World Championship Singles event?
No.
There was a... Wait, what? Someone
I didn't compete in that. I didn't compete in that either. Yeah, so apparently they do a crazy thing called 300 Modern, and basically that takes roughly about the sets from the last 2 years. I believe it was Elseworlds to now, with the most recent set being Star Trek, and they build like a constructed team with only 300 points, and they play this for one entire day. Then they cut to top 8, and they play it in the morning the next day, and it'll get done around 3 o'clock. Seems like a lot of play for only 300 Modern, but it is really cool. No, but your World's Championship, and a lot of people were. This is maybe the main reason people went. I don't know. Do you guys come to this for that?
No, I went with the intention of not doing this event. So like I did have a team just in case I changed my mind. I did have a team that I thought would be potentially viable, maybe win a game or two. But I definitely went to Worlds without the intention of doing the main World event. I mean, to be fair, Team Worlds is as big, but this is like what most people that go to Worlds consider like the main event. So yeah, I did not intend on doing it, and I didn't do it.
I half intended and ended up not intending at all. But no, Worlds is very big. It is very important. You do, after all, get to make a figure when you win, which is really cool, along with a ton of other prizing and stuff added on. Your Heroclix 2019 World Championship winner was Isaac Arnold Berkowitz. So this makes him a Rock Cup winner, a U.S. Nationals winner, and a World Championship Heroclix winner. Get this kid on a plane to Canada so we can steal their championship as well, because oh my gosh, is he great at Heroclix. I was very impressed. I didn't really pay attention to any of these games, so I was doing battle royales all day or the side event on Sunday, but it was pretty awesome. I'm very happy for everybody that competed in Worlds. I know it's pretty important. It's one of the main reasons everybody goes. I'm glad everybody had a good time. But I also want to reiterate that it goes to show you, even though me, Simeon, Devin, or any of us, we're sort of maybe half interested ish, maybe not even half, in playing in Worlds, we still went to the World Championship, the whole get-together, because it's awesome to see all these people you know. You play great games. Everybody, majority of the people there are super friendly and awesome, and it's just all around a great time, no matter if you play 300 Modern or not.
Yeah, they have stuff for every player level at the World Championship and Nationals, so it's a good time.
Absolutely. Kind of saying that goes on to like overall thoughts. I guess you guys kind of know my thoughts. I just think it's an awesome time to hang out with friends and people you know, and I thought it went very well. I guess the first thought I ever had when I went into the area was that I thought it was a pretty small area for Heroclix, but it actually didn't feel too small throughout the rest of the weekend, so it actually wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it was comparable to Philadelphia last year, with the catch that it's just Heroclix this time, so less traffic going in and out, not as busy. Noise level wasn't as bad too. I felt like you could actually hear your opponent across the table, which was nice, and good time overall.
Yeah, as far as like, if I was going to encourage someone that was a casual player to go, I didn't enjoy Philadelphia last year as much as I enjoyed this year. I didn't enjoy Origins as much as I enjoyed Worlds this year, but I also went with the intention of playing Heroclix all 3 days, doing like Battle Royales, side events, Team Sealed. That was my intention. If I had gone with the intention of going to Origins, doing Heroclix for like 2 days, and then enjoying the con on the third day, then I would have been disappointed in this, because there was still Graceland. You could do the Elvis tour. There was a bunch of interesting stuff like that. You can just enjoy the city of Memphis as well, if you've never been before. But as far as like a convention, it was Heroclix, Dice Masters, and Star Trek Attack Wing. So if you weren't down for Heroclix all 3 days, and you didn't, want to pop open some cards and dice, is that what the Attack Wing thing does? Is that cards and dice?
Cards and dice is actually Dice Masters.
Oh, I thought Dice Masters was the miniature
Trek
chips.
has like a bunch of cards, and the dials are a bit different. I've seen it played once, and it was interesting. Just a whole different game.
Dice Masters does have ships. I forgot. They're all Star Wars ships, if I remember correctly.
Yes. Only Star Trek ships. Did you say Star Wars? How dare you?
Star Wars.
How dare you? No, but to get back on track, I would encourage anyone that is willing to do battle royales, get good con prizing, like pick up some stuff for your local friends, and it's not gonna like break your bank. I would encourage you to go to Worlds next year if they hold it here again. If you are not down for a whole 3 days of battle royales and like side events, and you don't want to do like the team worlds or the more competitive stuff, I would suggest you go to like Origins instead, where there's a whole con around you that you can enjoy. But just speaking from my personal like preference, I definitely thought that this was the best WizKids event that I've gone to ever. So that was my takeaway.
Right on. All right, well, with that flawless segue, let's go ahead and see what the listeners at home had to say about going to Worlds in the community section.
There are dozens of us! Dozens!
Community Wednesday's question this week was, would you ever go to Worlds? Why/why not? What if it was held closer to you? I believe we all kind of answered this question, and the fact that you guys both went last year, and I went this year. I was like, why am I thinking so hard about this? This is the only time I've ever been to Worlds. And we had a few people answer. I'll go ahead and start us off on Twitter. Supervillain, totally not putting Captain Venom on every team, said, if I could afford it, I would totally go to Worlds. I'm not that good, but I could battle royale my way through it.
Nice. Nathan Deal said, I went last year since I live in Pennsylvania. It was a blast and worth it to meet new people and get nice prizes. I want to go again.
Right on. Jedi Legend said, never say never, but between family and Worlds only being held in states, this is unlikely. If it was closer, perhaps for the atmosphere and BRs, I'm too chilled to qualify at higher levels.
I do think they should just host Worlds in the middle of the Atlantic so that it's closest for everyone in the world. I think the Atlantic's the center.
It's got to be the best way. It would be really hard for us to drive to it though, since we like to drive to stuff,
Ooh, just get like some boat for your car.
Boats, that's right.
Tyler Murin says, I would love to go. The biggest issue is that I would have to make it a family vacation, and finding a way to entertain my wife and daughter while my son and I play is kind of a mission impossible. So, yeah.
You have the benefit of Graceland. True. You could tour that at least, but yeah.
At this one, you could have done Graceland, and then last year's you could have done the Unplugged PAX, or PAX Unplugged, I guess. But if they're not into gaming or Elvis, then they're out.
They can get kind of pricey trying to take a whole family to these things too. So yeah, there's that to keep in mind as well.
And then we're only going to be reading 3, so we've kind of already been going on for a pretty long time, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and end this off with, not end this off, but Vigilante Bonsai Tree and Sapling said, if I could qualify, playing at the highest levels would be fun challenge, but side events / battle royales would be a blast in and of itself. Sadly, going to US for it makes it unlikely. Worlds or some other big tournament / event in Europe, that might be doable.
All right, and James Craddock says, maybe. It would need to be during July. End of August / September is a terrible time for me to get off work. Also, ID cards would need to be a thing of the past. I'd need a group of pals to go with. I think that was kind of not a consensus among the comments, but there was a general sense of people not really enjoying like the current meta and not enjoying 300 Modern and expecting that would be like, the only thing at Worlds. And while even doing battle royales and team sealed, you are going to run into people that are more cutthroat and are in it to win it. That doesn't mean that you can't have fun. I definitely got a bunch of times in battle royales. I had points stolen from me a lot. I had people that would just keep passing turn until they could do that. And so it does get frustrating, but that's very rare in battle royals, I feel, and at least that extensive amount of it. And there's plenty of other fun stuff to do, so I would still suggest it if you can make the time and if it's not too costly for you to go. And that's the last thing I have to say on the subject.
Right on. We'll let it go ahead and move us into Jedi Legends Heroclix tip of the week.
I don't want to sell the death sticks.
I don't want to sell you death sticks.
You want to go home and rethink?
I want to go home and rethink my life.
Jedi Legend went ahead and said, stop the arguments. Penetrating Psychic Blast still goes through Impervious. The Impervious character doesn't get to roll the d6, I'm afraid. This was a thing like a few years ago. I don't know what it was, but like someone said like, even if you exploit Impervious, I can still roll the d6 and try to like reduce it. I'm like, no, you don't get to reduce damage because it's Pen Blast, it's exploit. So I'm glad that we had to reiterate this a little bit. I do like the gif he used, which was Psylocke from Marvel Contest of Champions shooting her Psy bow at Captain Marvel. It's pretty cool.
Fun Heroclix history fact in that scenario back in like 2011 during DC 75. They made the White Lantern characters, right? And specifically, they'd have normal standard pack powers, but with the catch where when they used them, they'd roll a die, and if you got a 5 or 6, they'd heal a click. So what Superman's was, if he rolled 5 or 6 on Impervious, he could heal. You can still... So the interaction back then was Psychic Blast would happen. You would take all the damage, but you could still roll Impervious to heal up, even though you're going to take all the full attack damage in the first place. That's it. I don't think that's a thing anymore, but it was fun for while it was around. Well, it was also a really dinky sculpt because he just if you ever want a funny Superman to look at, go look at the Superman sculpt from DC 75 where he's just standing there like he's in line at the DMV or something.
There's so many Supermen that are just like hands like at the sides or hands on the hips. At least hands on the hips is like an iconic pose. There's so many that are just like hands at the sides, and he has to get his superhero license renewed, and he's been there for 45 minutes, and the line hasn't moved yet. And
Right on. Right on. I can dig it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go ahead and talk about the Patreon. Normally, in the second episode of every month, we do a Patreon ranking up ceremony. Since this was a very Worlds-heavy episode, we're going to go ahead and nix that in the bud this week. But if you want to support the podcast and everything we do here, as well as get entered to our monthly giveaways, go ahead and check us out at Patreon/DialH for Heroclix. This month, the giveaway we're doing is going to be Robbie Reed, who has the H dial. It might be kind of where we, like the storyline where we got the name of the podcast, you know? So that's pretty cool. I think that's really awesome. I'm also going to be adding a new $5 tier. So if you actually give $5 instead of being like the cumulative tier thing, I'm going to have 3 Felix Fausts that I was able to pick up. And if you give me $5, you can kind of choose here, but I'm going to say you can go ahead and choose how I destroy a Felix Faust. I'll video it. I'll send it to you. Then I'm going to make a big compilation of destroying Felix Fausts. And then you can go ahead and get any bits left over. I think that's fun. A lot of people hate Felix Faust, and I've been scorned by him, and I really want to destroy these like so bad. So it gives me a great time. They only cost $5, so like it's just a
Please
1-to-1.
pay me to let me do the thing that I want to do.
So I can destroy these Felix Fausts. And I'll be like, this Felix Faust was destroyed in the name of, and I can say your name or something really cool. If you think that's a great idea, I think it's a freaking awesome idea. I really want to destroy.
I think I might become a patron to make you eat one.
Oh yeah, that's one way to destroy it. I also have a
I mean,
ha Joker. I really want to destroy since it's missing a card. So if you've also been scorned by a ha Joker, I'll do that one as well. Eating is destroying it. I didn't think that far ahead. Hopefully you guys won't do that. Yikes.
We'll make that the $10 tier. to pay for the hospital visit.
$5, so.
I mean, yeah. Do you have a hydraulic press in your area that you could like rent out, or?
I might have a hydraulic press. That might be the way to go on one of these. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be dope. I could dig it. And now we're going to go ahead. I'm going to tell you about where you can find Dial H for Heroclix. Our sponsors, of course, CoolStuffInc.com. You find us on Podbean, Podbean/Dial H for Heroclix. Twitter at Dial H, that's the number 4, Heroclix. Facebook.com /Dial H for Heroclix. We're on iTunes, YouTube. You can always email us at dialhforheroclix@gmail.com. And like always, we have Patreon. Any last words before we call it a night, gentlemen?
All right, I did the show. Can I go now? Please, my wife needs to know I'm alive. Please, let me out of here.
I said you couldn't look at the card until I played the theme song, until I read us out of here. I told you.
What a funny callback to the earlier joke that was made about the joking.
You're right, Simeon. That was quite
with
funny.
that,
Comedians like to do that. They sure do like to reiterate jokes.
Speaking of being brought somewhere against your will, Dial H for Heroclix is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock every day, including all the latest Heroclix singles and sealed products. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Happy trails.
Peace.
My stuff.
All right. Go ahead. Unstrap him. Let him go.
Oh, thank God.
I really wanted to use
my arms again.